Hi guys, and welcome to this week's Best of 3 Battler. So, we have a very special guest on the channel this week, and I'm so pleased to announce that we're going to have a Best of 3 against my good friend Joshua Lorcy. So, one of New York's and the US finest VGC players, and a very up-and-coming player. You know, he's made a big splash this season. Unfortunately, couldn't make Worlds, but there's only good things to come out from Joshua, and I just want to say a big shout out to him for coming on and saying, getting in touch and asking for a best of 3. It's really great to have him on the channel. This week I've decided to go with a bit of a mashup team with my own Tapu Lele team and Sam Pendelis's Tapu Lele Worlds team. So I've kind of changed up and kind of pushed things together. Kept a few things with Sam's team and kept a few things from my Tapu Lele team. So this is what we're going with this week. You can find all of Joshua's credentials, social tags and everything like that down below in this description. So his Twitter, he's got a great YouTube channel as well. So if you haven't checked it out already, definitely jump over there and check out his YouTube channel. He has a lot of good content on there, a lot of best of 3 stuff as well, so it's really beneficial for you guys getting into VGC and trying to kind of understand the best of 3 format opposed to a best of 1 format that you kind of probably see a lot more of on YouTube. So this is one of the reasons why I kind of wanted to start the best of 3 battler series as well, because it's, you know, as I keep saying throughout my School of Hard Knocks episodes, you know, it's weird playing a best of 1 format in what is now really a competitive scene, which is all based around best of 3. So I feel like doing more of this content for you guys is going to be really beneficial for you going forward, hopefully. And it's always going to be beneficial when we get such high caliber players like Joshua on the channel. You know, we had Jake last week, we've had Matt Durrell on as well, and Jamie Boyd as well. So we've had a lot of big names on so far. So hopefully we can kind of keep those coming. And I'm putting my feelers out at the minute to players that are well known within the scene to try and get them on to kind of showcase their talents on the channel as well for your benefit, because it shows, you know, not only you see them in a VGC tournament and things on the live streams and stuff like that, but it's nice to see them outside of that kind of situation and see how they kind of get into the nitty gritty of it. And I'm sure Joshua is also recording these battles for his channel, so you'll be able to go over to his channel and check out the battles from his perspective, which would be really great as well. So as I said earlier, his team, what am I talking about? It's late, guys, it's really late for me here, so if I'm a bit slow on the uptake, bear with me. As I was saying, he will be probably recording these over on his channel, so it'd be nice to go over and see the matches from his perspective, and that will be linked. His YouTube will be linked in the description below, as well as everything else. So just waiting now for the match to start. We've selected our teams, so we should be getting into it in a few minutes. And just a quick reminder, guys, as well, that we will be doing a live stream tomorrow evening, Thursday evening, 8 PM UK time, over on our Twitch channel. So you can find that link in the description below, and you can also find a link in the YouTube homepage. On the banner there'll be a little Twitch icon. Just click on that, it'll take you straight over to the Twitch page. So Joshua is just having a few issues with his capture card audio, so he's just trying to fix that, so we might be just a few minutes, but we'll just hang out, and I might cut this section out of the video when we come to do it, but hopefully we don't drop out of the battle and he sorts it out so we don't have to go in and out again. But if we do, not to worry. So it'll be fine, it'll be fine. And if you guys have any suggestions as well for players that you'd like to see me try and get on the channel, let me know. You know, there's so many good players out there that have YouTube channels as well, so it'll be a lot of fun. You know, there's Wolfie, Aaron as well, Baz, there's Duncan and all the NBL crew. So there's lots of people I could try and get in touch with to see if we could get them on, especially going into the new season as well. I'd like to try and get this series. Obviously Giovanni Costa as well, forget about Giovanni. But there's lots of people out there that have YouTube channels that we could kind of do collabs with. So if there's particular people out there that you'd like to see me getting in touch with to try and arrange something, do let me know as well, because that's something I'm really keen to do. And as I keep saying, with the best of threes, it's something that I want to push probably a bit more going into next season than I do the best of one School of Hard Knocks. It's always nice to do a Battle Spot series because it's quick, it's easy, it's good to showcase teams quite easily to you guys and to just get a kind of a feel for the format and things like that. But the best of three format is kind of where VGC is gearing up to, and it's really what everyone should be. If you want to be very competitive in this format, you need to be well versed within best of three play, really. So that's kind of the main reason to kind of push this a little bit more than School of Hard Knocks going into 2018 season, and that's kind of what I'd like to do. But it looks like we're going to get into the battle, so excellent. Let's see what Joshua's brought. So he's got a Kartana, an Arcanine, Tapu Lele, Porygon 2, Gigalith, and Tapu Koko. So straight off the bat, we can see he's got that P2 Gigalith combination there that is going to be very threatening. You know, it's going to be able to set up the Trick Room. And Gigalith under a Trick Room is really threatening. It does cause our Ninetales a lot of issues because it's got the Sandstorm. Obviously, we're not going to be freely able just to lead with Ninetales and get an Aurora Veil up. So that's a combination that we need to watch out for, need to be very careful with. We've got the Kartana Koko, that's another threatening lead there. We do have the Lele to kind of help us overwrite the electric terrain from the Tapu Koko, but Joshua has his own Tapu Lele as well to kind of combat that as well. Arcanine just being Arcanine, but no ground type on Joshua's team, so it kind of, in a way, if we could get the Aurora Veil up, it does give Xurkitree an easier time. So let's see, what can we go with? I kind of feel like I want to go a bit safer into game one, just start and gather information on what Joshua's trying to do with this team. I think getting information on the Tapu Lele is going to be pretty pivotal for us, so let's lead off with Lele Arcanine. Maybe Celesteela and Garchomp here is not a bad combination to kind of go with, just to start this match off with. So I'll lock in with those, and we'll see what Joshua brings. So good luck to my man, and let's hope it's a fun one. Let's hope the RNG gods are kind to both of us, and there is very little RNG in the games. There's nothing worse, nothing worse. The game's been spoiled by RNG. Joshua's going to lead off with a mirror match. So he's going to lead off with his Arcanine and Lele, and we're going to lead off with our Arcanine and Lele. So it's going to be good to kind of to judge speed tiers here. Joshua is running a very fast Tapu Lele. And our Arcanine is faster than his Arcanine, which is good information going into this first turn. Now, you've got to wonder whether the Tapu Lele on Joshua's side of the field is maybe scarfed. That's one thing that does cross my mind. Let's have a quick look at his team makeup. And I guess it makes sense to kind of support the Porygon too, and the Kartana to a certain extent. If it is scarfed, we should be able to take an attack with our Arcanine. But I can't afford to lose the Arcanine so early on in the game. One play we could go for is just to protect. If I can lock it in and a Bulldoze with our Arcanine, if I can lock it in time, I'll slow everything down. And man, there's like this crazy fly going around my room, so just ignore me if I'm flipping out a bit. So we get the protect off with Lele, see a Moonblast from the opposing Lele into ours, and we're going to get a Bulldoze off with our Arcanine, which is going to slow everything down, allow our Lele to outspeed Josh's Lele, hopefully going into this next turn. And see a Toxic come out from the Arcanine into our Arcanine, which is a nice play. So it's putting our Arcanine onto a timer straight away. Now the thing you've got to think about here is if that Tapu Lele is scarfed, We can't protect, and we could target into it, get rid of it. I'm kind of tempted to just go for a Shattered Psyche into that slot, and maybe a Helping Hand as well. So don't worry about the Garchomp too much about the Arcanine with Garchomp in the back. I'm going to go for the Helping Hand, Shattered Psyche into that slot. I've got a feeling that if he keeps it in, we'll take it down. If he switches it out, whatever comes in is going to take a massive chunk of damage. So we do get the Helping Hand off. Ooh, and we're seeing a Helping Hand from his Arcanine. And we do move first, so that is good. The Bulldoze's coming in very handy for us here. And we should be able to take down this Lele. I know it is a resisted attack, but we've got like the stacking that we've got here with the Helping Hand and the Psychic Terrain should pick up the kill. Which it does. So we get rid of the Lele. And we're still not a bad position here because the Arcanine is a -1 speed, so we are definitely outspeeding it. The Lele is still putting on a lot of pressure onto that Arcanine, so we'll see what Josh brings in for his next Pokemon. Maybe the Porygon 2 if he's brought it to try and get the Trick Room up. It kind of makes sense. And it is the P2. Okay, so we do have Taunt on our Tapu Lele that we could go for into the P2 to stop any potential Trick Room setup. So I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to bring in do I bring in Garchomp here or do I bring in Celesteela? I'll bring in Celesteela because we have intimidated the Arcanine, so we will be able to take a Flare Blitz from the opposing Arcanine. And I don't know if it's likely that the Porygon goes for a T-Ball into the Celesteela. It's very likely, but we should be able to take a combination. See a Toxic come out. Oh, that's super unfortunate for Josh. He goes for the Toxic into the Lele, and we do avoid that. So we do stop the Trick Room from the Porygon too, which is nice. We can just really... We could switch out our Arcanine, our Lele into our Arcanine, get another Intimidate off onto the opposing Arcanine, go for a Leech Seed, start spreading some seeds onto the P2. And if he goes for a Toxic again into that Lele slot, at least bringing the Arcanine in, we're going to be able to kind of soak it up and nullify its any effect of it this coming turn. But we might see the Gigalith hit the field. Maybe. So do get our Arcanine in. Just cycle that Intimidate onto the opposing Arcanine, which is the bigger threat at the moment. And we just see it Protect here. And let's get some info on this Porygon too. It goes for Shadow Ball. So that's super interesting. That's really handy knowing that for future games. So it's probably got Shadow Ball, and you've got to imagine it probably has Ice Beam as well. Let's bring in Garchomp now for Arcanine. We've got those Intimidates off. We can seed quite freely into the opposing Arcanine this turn. And the Porygon 2 switches out, so we're going to see the Gigalith hit the field. And the Arcanine just going for a Flare Blitz into the Celesteela. You've got to imagine, yeah, get some damage off into it. But because of those Intimidates that we've cycled, we're able to take that quite comfortably. Now you've got to imagine here that, like, if I was in Joshua's situation, I think I would pull the Arcanine out for the Porygon 2 to try and get that Trick Room up again. So I kind of want to switch Garchomp out, because we're threatening the Gigalith right now, so I feel like it has to protect almost, or Wide Guard. And we need Lele in to get the taunt off onto the Porygon 2. So I'm going to switch in Lele again, and I'm going to go for a Leech Seed into the Arcanine slot, expecting the P2 to kind of come in on that. And he wants to reset the Intimidates as well, so that would make a lot of sense, kind of making that play, I guess. Might backfire, but yeah, so there's the Arcanine withdrawal. So we do make the correct call there. And Gigalith protecting. So we get the Leech Seed, it does hit, thankfully. The other thing that we need to start thinking about as well is that this Gigalith could have the Rockium Z. But it can't protect this next turn, so we could potentially just double up into it and call the bluff on the Porygon 2. Not going for the... because I think a Psychic and a Heavy Slam might be enough. It's going to put it really close in range. So I'm going to double up into the Gigalith here, because it has protected that last turn. And maybe the Porygon 2 doesn't go for the Trick Room, expecting the taunt from the Lele. And if the Arcanine comes in on that slot, we're going to catch it with a Psychic. So we're going to do heavy damage to it regardless, if we don't do much with the Heavy Slam. So the P2 withdraws, Arcanine coming back in. Okay. That's a nice play from Josh. We do get the Psychic into the Gigalith. But now Intimidated, I don't know. Yeah, that's a bulky Gigalith. Well, Gigalith is always bulky anyway, but we do get some good damage onto it, and we're just going to see a Stone Edge into the Lele. We do manage to survive it. Now the thing is, I want to withdraw my Lele into my Arcanine, but I don't want us... I mean, one thing I could do is Psychic into the Arcanine slot. It's just when the Lele goes down, we've lost that taunt option. That's the only thing. I'm going to Psychic into the Arcanine, and I'm just going to Heavy Slam again into the Gigalith slot. So the Gigalith withdraws. See the P2 hit the field. And Arcanine just protects. See, Arcanine's kind of locked here because we take it down. Does the P2 stay in? No, that's the thing. Because if we taunt into that slot and it just switches to the Gigalith, it gives the Arcanine a free turn just to get rid of the Lele. But are we really that scared? I mean, the biggest thing here, I think, is that we stop this P2 from being able to recover. I feel like I need to go for the taunt, and I'm going to switch Celesteela out into Arcanine here. So hopefully we don't see the P2 switch out. So no switch outs, we do get the taunt into the Porygon 2. We're going to see Flare Blitz into the Lele, I'd imagine. Yeah. So we could have got a free turn off with our Celesteela here. But we do have a free switch into our Garchomp now. And then we can just freely Earthquake, I guess. Switch the Arcanine out for the Celesteela. And hopefully 2 Earthquakes is going to be enough. Maybe not 2. But 2 plus a Heavy Slam will pick up the KO onto the Porygon 2. You've got to imagine. And Josh doesn't really want to be in a position now to switch in that Gigalith, because it will go down to an Earthquake. But he is doing it. So I guess the cycling the Intimidate is going to be his best option. And we'll probably see an Ice Beam come up from the Porygon 2 into the Garchomp this next turn anyway. So maybe with the Sand Chip, next turn we'll be able to... Yeah, there's the Ice Beam. As long as we don't get frozen. Doing huge damage. Okay. And the Psychic Terrain does disappear. And does Josh have Extreme Speed on his Arcanine? I guess we find out. And I'm just gonna... So I'm just gonna go for an Earthquake, and I'm gonna go for... Just go for a Heavy Slam into the P2. Because we should take a Flare Blitz from the Arcanine. But we just see it Protect here. And we will get the Earthquake off. And maybe if Josh has got it, kind of conflicts a bit with the Psychic Terrain, but he does have other options as well, you know. And it's a nice option to have when the Psychic Terrain isn't up. So we do get rid of the P2. Get a Beast Boost, which is nice information for Josh going into this next turn. And we should be able to pick up the KO with the Earthquake here with our Garchomp. And we'll just go for a safe little Leech Seed as well, just in case we see an Extreme Speed come out. But I don't know why you'd risk it now. And Josh just forfeits, just to preserve any information going into game 2, which is really smart, and very good game to Josh. And we'll be back tomorrow, guys. So I hope you've enjoyed today's first match. We'll be back tomorrow, like I say, with game 2. So do tune in for that, if I can get my words out. And as always, follow Josh. Go over to his YouTube channel, check out the video from his perspective, and leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you're not already, and all that jazz. And we'll see you for another best of 3 battler tomorrow, game 2. So until then, guys, take care. Bye bye.